What's up, guys? Josh here. Today I want to talk about a rather interesting topic for my first video of 2022, and it's something that might surprise you, it might not surprise you at the same time. Basically, another auto manufacturer, Chevy, was inspired by Ford. With Ford making their Lightnings, so Chevy's jumping on the bandwagon of electric trucks, so to speak. They're jumping on with the Chevy Silverado EV. Really interesting, if you ask me. And if you want my opinion, they revealed this January 5th. They revealed it at a, like a video conference. They're going to reveal the truck originally at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, but we all know with, the COVID variants going around, they had to shut it down, and that stinks, but it is what it is. COVID is unfortunately not going anywhere anytime soon. May get a little better, but it's not, ultimately just gonna disappear like magic. I wish, but that doesn't seem to be the case. The truck is going to come out in the spring of 2023 as the 2024 model year. So the 2024 model year is going to be the first year you can get of the Silverado EV. And it's going to start off with the WT trim, which is kind of like the middle trim in between the base and the RST, which is what I'm going to get to in just a moment here. And the WT trim is first going to be offered to fleets and other consumers, like lumber companies, probably companies like Home Depot and Lowe's, and anybody you could think of, in that field. Company you'd see using a pickup truck for something. That's what you would very likely see it for. And with that, first I'll get into a little bit about the base model, which is, very simple model. It's not something that has all the bells and whistles. It's very bare bone, very basic, and the base model price is $39,900. That's pretty dang good for an electric truck, if you ask me. Maybe like a steal to some of you, but that's plus destination, so you just got to be aware of that. And the base model is going to come with front and rear motors that make 510 horsepower and 625 pound-feet of torque. Now that right there, that sounds pretty dang good for an electric EV for just under $40,000. Yeah, it's making quite some power. And but that's with the standard all-wheel drive. So anybody, if you live up in the north or up in Canada or wherever it snows, you'll be pretty good to go. And along with that, it will be able to tow up to 8,000 pounds and carry a payload of up to 1,200 pounds. It's really, Silverado EV is like no laughing matter. Like, Chevy was like, see man, Ford making the Lightning over there, even though it ain't that rear wheel drive sporty truck. Oh no. We gotta jump on the bandwagon too. We gotta show people what Chevy's all about. That's, what Chevy's response probably was when they saw, Ford come out with the F-150 Lightning, with it being an electric truck. That's what Chevy's doing with this Silverado. So, however, it gets more exciting. In the fall of 2023, Chevy is going to release the top-of-the-line trim, the RST, which is like the Performance Premier package. It's like the Sport package. Like how Chevy has like the Tahoe and the Suburban RST and all the other RST trims. That's exactly what it is. They're going to come out with the RST First Edition model, which is going to have a price of $105,000. So, it's not cheap. You gotta have quite the moolah for RST. So this model, however, is going to come fully loaded, all bells and whistles, everything you could ask for. Here's a catch. It's going to come with fewer goodies than the first edition Hummer. So one of the things that I saw that, anyway, both versions are going to come with the Hummer EV's 24 module battery pack that has about 200 kilowatt hours of capacity. So I guess that's a start. The battery will be able to charge up to 350 kilowatts, which Chevy says adds 100 miles of range every 10 minutes. So you plug the battery in, 10 minutes, 100 miles, 20 minutes, 200 miles, 30 minutes, 300 miles. I know it probably doesn't sound exciting, if you like to fill up your tank in like 2, 3, 5 minutes or however long it, takes to fill up your tank with how big of a vehicle you drive. I said this in a couple other videos too, that they gotta figure out how to, which I'm pretty sure they will at some point, how to like fully charge electric vehicles very quickly. Because that's the big con with electric vehicles, they take a long time to charge. But, hopefully with technology advancement, that will soon change. And, anyway, this Silverado is going to be available with 10 outlets to charge items at campsites and job sites. So, if you're someone who likes to go camping or fishing a lot, this vehicle, is going to give you some good company. And so from there, it's going to include a 240 volt outlet in the bed, meaning like, in the back of the truck, where you store stuff, kind of like the cargo area. And so, if you want to plug in, I guess, whatever, you want to plug in your grill, you want to cook some hamburgers and hot dogs, or where you guys like to grill up maybe a little salmon or fluke or whatever you like to grill up there. And you could see, so I grab my invisible fork. That's some pretty good electric Silverado flavor there. Yeah, so that's just a little imaginary funny thought I just had while talking about it. And along with that, it's going to offer a 10.2 kilowatt of charging capacity and will be able to charge other EVs as well. So, if you got maybe, when we're like 20, 30, 40 years in the future, be like, hey buddy, I'm running a little low on juice, you think you could charge me up? Be the one with the Silverado. Be like, yeah man, I got you back. The other guy would be like, oh, thank you so much. Yeah, so you could, give other people, some of your juice. So I guess that's kind of a plus. Why I say kind of is because, that might be a little of a leery topic to talk about, but I'm pretty sure if like somebody like ran out of juice, then that would be a whole completely different story. You'd be more willing to help them out if you're a decent human being. But the RST is going to come with 2 motors as opposed to 3 that the GMC Hummer EV has that carries just over 1,000 horsepower. The Silverado's dual motor system will make, in the RST, 664 horsepower along with 780 pound-feet of torque. Now that is pretty dang fast if you ask me. So this dual motor thing is called the wide open Watts mode. Think of it I would probably say as something kind of like a wide open throttle. It's kind of like the sport mode that you have in your car. I can't really say for sure, but, that's what I'm kind of like picturing what it is, and it's nothing more, nothing less, gives you more throttle response, so that's a good thing. And so that is similar to the Hummer's Watts to Freedom mode. I guess that's... I'm not really too sure what that is. Let me know in the comments section if you do know what it is, because I am not, well educated on Hummer EVs. Anyway, that's supposed to unlock the best performance when the batteries and the motors are in the right operating settings, and it's supposed to give off a 0 to 60 time in just 4.5 seconds. Electric vehicles, as many of you know who know a lot about Teslas and things like that, EVs, preferably Teslas, have pretty dang quick acceleration. I think a Tesla is going to be faster than a Hellcat, and I think it's going to be like the base model. Like a base model someday in the future, it's going to make a Hellcat, seem like a slug compared to whatever Tesla is faster than the Hellcat. So EVs are, they're showing what they got. And anyway, as far as towing capacity for this RST, it will be able to tow up to 1,000 pounds, which is a lot. That's like about 2 or 3 vehicles, probably 4 or 5 small vehicles. And it's going to be able to carry a payload of 1,300 pounds. So this RST is like no laughing matter. Anyway, this Silverado EV, was kind of like a downish side, I would say. I don't know if it's like a downside, but some of you may consider it to be a downside. But about the Silverado, kind of the thing is, it's not going to be as wide as the GMC Hummer EV pickup, and isn't going to have as much equipment. So I'm not really too sure like how many things it's not going to have compared to the Hummer, but I would assume it's probably at least several. There's not a lot of details about this truck right now at the time of this recording. So it did say, however, with the weight, the Hummer will weigh 9,000 pounds and the Silverado is going to weigh 8,000 pounds. So it's a 1,000-pound difference. So Silverado is really not too much lighter than the Hummer. The Silverado will get air suspension and adaptive dampers, just like the Hummer. However, the Silverado is not going to have an extract mode, which is something that raises the ground clearance to just about 16 inches higher. So it's kind of like a terrain management system type thing. You can lower or raise the vehicle, so that'd be really helpful in situations, if there's like snow or mud or anything like that. So, or even just like a steep hill, if you have to, or like a curb, you gotta raise it up, and there you go, you solved it. But the Silverado, however, is instead it's going to be able to raise or lower the ride height 2 inches in each direction. So I would assume 2 inches up or 2 inches down. So, it's at least something, if you ask me. The Silverado is also going to come with a rear axle steering, but won't have the Hummer's crab walk. The crab walk is, I guess in the Hummer, it's supposed to let the vehicle move diagonal. I've never seen the crab walk before recording this video, but I assume it's got to be something really, really cool. It's kind of like, I know I'm probably going to look this up and be like, oh, why didn't I think of that? But hey, you know what? I'm learning a little something too, even if it's, during post-production. Chevy said that the Silverado EV is going to be 233 inches long. So that's from the front to the back. And it's theroughly an inch longer than the current Silverado crew cab and short bed. So as far as length, there's hardly any difference. The wheelbase, however, will be slightly shorter, and without the need of an engine up front the cab, will get bigger and move forward, which will create a cabin larger than any current full-size pickup, according to Chevy. So it's kind of like, the Ford F-150 Lightning has, what would be normally the engine compartment. You can open up the front of the hood. Kind of like some supercars, you can do that. Because they're mid-engine, you can just open up the hood and you have a little more storage. That's exactly what it is. So it's like a trunk in the front trunk, you know what I mean? It would suck to forget to close that while you're driving. So you know exactly where that goes. Yeah, so the RST is going to have a mid-gate-like appearance, just like the Chevy Avalanche. If you look at the Chevy Avalanche, you'll notice, how it has like a stylish edge. You notice how on both sides of the truck. So, if you tell somebody, hey, Chevy's making the new Avalanche, they probably believe you. They didn't know anything about the Silverado EV. You're like, hey man, look at that new Avalanche. No, that's the new Silverado EV. Nothing to get too excited about. Yeah, that'd be kind of funny. Just like how it'd be funny if somebody thought that the Ford Maverick that used to be a compact car was the new Ford Ranger. So that's kind of a funny example of that. But anyway, back to what I was discussing about the RST. Well, the Silverado is going to come with a 5-foot 11-inch bed, and it's going to open the 60 by 40 split midgate. What this is going to do is it's going to allow items up to 9 feet long to be able to sit in the bed. You can pull down the standard multi-flex tailgate and pop up the rear stop, and the truck will be able to fit items as long as 10 feet. So doing those additional steps you'll be able to fit something a foot longer. So without pulling down the multi-flex, you can fit things that are 9 feet long. Pull it down, you can fit things that are 10 feet long. So not that it's a really impressive difference, but I guess, if you're carrying certain things, then it might make a really big difference. So there you have it with that. Anyway, shifting towards the WT model, it's going to have a steel suspension with standard dampers. However, it's going to lack rear axle steering and ride on 18-inch wheels instead of the 24-inch wheels. So I guess Chevy's trying to aim for better handling with that. Instead of having, bigger size wheels, probably have smaller size wheels. This way it improves on handling at least a little bit from there. And I think that's what Chevy's trying to do on their part. Well, Chevy did announce a base price below $40,000 for the WT trim. That will be for, as of right now, the undisclosed smaller battery version. So that would make sense. You want bigger power, you gotta be shedding out some cash. However, this smaller battery version has an undisclosed range as of the time of this recording, which we will soon find out as more details come out. So, on the other hand, the first WT model that's going to come out is going to have the big battery, but that price is yet to be announced. And however, switching back to the RST model, it's going to have an 11-inch digital instrument cluster along with a 17-inch display screen. So it's going to be obviously a touch screen, just like you use for, your GPS, Waze, Apple CarPlay, so on and so forth, climate controls. Some cars, they no longer have the climate controls, it's separate, you gotta go into the screen and control them from there. But, so that is where that's at. With hardware and programming from the new Hummer's infotainment system, they're bringing over, the hardware and the programming that the Hummer's infotainment system has, and they're bringing over to the Silverado EV's infotainment system. So that's pretty cool. Though it's expected to be much smaller and possibly come with an analog instrument cluster. So we'll have to keep our eyes and ears open on that. The RST is also going to come with a glass roof and GM's Super Cruise limited hands-free driver assist system with trailer capability. So what this is saying is the RST is going to be coming with a glass spoon roof, which is what I would assume they'd be talking about. And it's supposed to be coming with some type of hands-free driver's assist trailer steering capability. So I guess they're trying to eliminate, the need of someone trying to have to use control on the side of the steering wheel to help steer the, the trailer better that they're towing behind them. And, just like anything else, why would you want, multiple hands running around all over, your displays and stuff? You're supposed to be keeping 2 hands on the wheel as much as you possibly can. So that's a plus for Chevy. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be pleased with that as well. So that, will probably be a reason why people will go after Silverado EVs because of that feature. So Chevy so far hasn't announced what other models of the Silverado EV are going to be offered between the $40,000 and $105,000 price range. So we'll have to stay tuned for that. And as of January 5th, starting on January 5th, Chevy started taking $100 deposits for the all-new 2024 Silverado EV. So I guess whoever, wanted them, will be putting their money down, have to wait over a year before they can finally get behind the wheel of one, enjoy one. So, however, at the same time, a limited number of RST editions were claimed. So I guess some people are going to be getting their RST, when they come in the fall of 2023. And along with that, the rest of the deposits will allow customers to choose either a WT or configure their trucks for later versions. Yeah, so another topic, I wanted to quickly bring up was that GM wants to make all lightweight trucks electric by 2035, but they're not going to be making the heavy-duty trucks electric until 2035. So, any of you YouTubers or anybody who likes to enjoy like rolling coal and diesel and anything like that, enjoy it now, because in like a little under 20 years, it's all going to be coming to a close. It'll be coming to like a slow close, but as 30, 40, 50 years, there's going to be no gasoline power cars or trucks on the road. So that's something to think about and consider as well. So just keep that all in mind. Nothing in life lasts forever. So, and this is one of those things that isn't going to last forever. Gas power cars and trucks. Internal combustion. It'd be funny, to see a debate in like quite some time, like people that are like for electric vehicles and people that are for internal combustion gas power vehicles, just like jumping down each other's throats, trying to convince each other, that one of them is better and things like that. Like, for example, they're like, oh, like, electric, better for the environment. And other person will be like, internal combustion, man. Gas, diesel, all the way till the day I die. And yeah, so, along with that, in 2035, GM is going to start making electric heavy-duty trucks. But there's a bit of a catch. Even though they're going to start making electric trucks, heavy-duty trucks in 2035, they're still going to make gas-power heavy-duty trucks all the way up until 2040. So from 2035 to 2040, you will have the option to either get an electric heavy-duty truck or a gas-power heavy-duty truck. So there you have it with that. I figure I'd just give that, quick little message out to you while telling you about this all-new Silverado EV. So that's gonna wrap it up for my first video of 2022. Hope everyone enjoyed hearing all the details that I have to share with everyone, and along with that, and that is it for this video. Well, that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and turn on post notifications so you do not miss out on one of my informative videos or whatever other cool stuff I got going on. And along with that, I'll see you next time.